All right, good morning, everyone. A little late today. Sorry about that. So, market looks like had some interesting news overnight about possible government shutdown aversion, bringing us higher, but moving lower on the open. Now we're mixed, so we'll have to see how we handle this here today. A lot of green on my screen. I'm at the bottom here, and not too much red. AMRN flat, Goose flat, TTWO. They didn't like earnings, did they? Oh, wow. It's a huge miss. That's a huge miss. And how'd they expect $2 when previous quarter was 22 cents? That's so weird. ACB down 4%. MMNFF, NBEV. NBEV giving it up here the past couple of days. Escaping my radar for some reason. On low volume, coming down to the 50-day moving average. We'll see if it gets support there. That would be good. INSG flat, Lilly flat, Amarin flat, Goose flat, Starbucks basically flat. Twitter, INS, Ahmed. Square's bouncing around here around 1%. With a pretty good day yesterday. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. You have Chegg up here, 7% a leader today. Looks like earnings, 25 cents. Beating by a little bit. So we're not super bullish today. We're not bearish either. Looks like another neutral day, which is fine with me. Another neutral day, I'll be happy with that. Yesterday was pretty neutral. Day before, pretty neutral. Day before that, little sell-off. Little sell-off. Not too bad, though. IQ up 3%. Oh, this thing's working its way higher. Trying to fly under the radar. Little consolidation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days now. It's like 2185 is that little mini breakout area. Potentially, it's coming from a low, really deep, so I'm not sure if it'll run. WLL number 2 today. ZTO. Popping up out of nowhere. Some news today? No. The news on ZTO. IQ and Huya. Not a bad little pattern there. Illumina. Ooh, this could be interesting. Illumina could be very interesting. It didn't have a great reaction on earnings. They actually missed. Hey, what's up, Eli? They missed, but look at that. They pretty much held that low, been going sideways for a little bit. Now trying to float up. So that could be interesting in Illumina. Looks like they missed a little bit, but so far no major reaction. See if we can break that trend line. I know I'm omitting some price action from that. But I mean that's going to take your buy range way up here. So trying to cut close to price action. If I cut that, I actually get both of these highs right there. There we go. I get 3 touches on that trend line. Should make it nice. iRobot. What's up, Ted? Where is it at? Oh, okay. Yeah, working nicely. Good job. I was just going to copy him for my list here, Ted. I wasn't going to give you 20 specific ones. You're right. I never did, though, post them in Slack. Sorry about that. I can... I believe I can export my watch list. Darn it. I don't use any of these other ones. There's a real old watch list right there. Working good today, though. %50 of average volume. I was doing volume screens for a while. Man, I got a lot of watch lists. Is that it? Oh, that's it. Okay. It's on indices. Add to crypto mail list? Yeah, let's do that. I'll be here. I'll never leave the desk. In that case, no, Ted wanted to do some charting on stocks and wanted some charts. I'm like, yeah, I'll give you some charts. There we go, export to file. I'll put this, I can put this file on the website and give you guys a link if you want to, but it's just my list. There we go. I saved it, so I'm able to export it later pretty easily. Garmin breaking out. We haven't talked about Garmin in a long time. Good look. Garmin with a double bottom. Looks like it already broke out up here. I think we did talk about this. It just hasn't made any news. Really, still up 3%. Still within a buy range from a double bottom base. There's your big W. Right low is undercutting the left low. Pretty standard double bottom. Somehow we don't have. I thought we had Garmin on the list. Maybe it just hasn't made any splashes here. Up 0.6%. Garmin. See, stocks are looking better, guys. Stock a few weeks ago, everybody's doubting breakouts, and then now here we are looking at breakouts. Pretty nice. I like it. But yeah, Garmin's still within a buy range, up 3%. So not bad at all. Now the breakout volume is a little low. There's this candle. Actually, if that's your breakout candle, then you're good to go. And oh yeah, I guess I'll give it to you. That'll work. Breakout volume, nice, lots of green bars right there. Just getting on with the program. I'm not mad at Garmin whatsoever. That's not bad at all. And the NASDAQ here looks like it's trying to go for highs of the overnight session. We'll see if it can eclipse that or not. Ford with the big diamond pattern that is not a big diamond pattern, working pretty good at $8. Let's check it out. Were we talking on the weekly here? Yeah, I think we were talking. Well, when I was looking at it, I was thinking it was on this weekly chart. If you had another, this doesn't look like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Still hasn't broken out from that pattern yet. I think when we talked about it, it wasn't that long ago, maybe last week or the week before. Still up at these levels. I don't think that candle was even printed yet. It would have been like this. I think this would have had to be the problem is that you do that, it doesn't really eclipse any action. It's a trapezoid pattern. The trapezoid pattern! Well, we eclipsed the highs of the overnight session on the NASDAQ. That's pretty good. And holding higher so far. Let's go. Nah, we'll be okay. Everything looks good. Looks pretty good. If you take that in a measured move way. I'm not sure if it's going to work out this way. But if you measure move this, we're going to get up here to. That puts us back at the highs. That puts us past the highs. Not quite sure if that's going to happen, but nice to think about. That's a very small pattern to take that off of, though. I will say that. DBX options. I never looked at the options on DBX. You mentioned it. I wasn't a massive fan of the chart. It's kind of a little extended. No real basing. Already up 11%. I didn't really look at them, to be honest with you. We can. Let's do that real quick. What was your target, Eli? Were you going all the way back to 43 up here, or Lilly up 0.5%? We're going to get the 10% up down in 2 5-minute candles. Those are on Thursdays, Ted. Those are on Thursdays in the stock market, so just look for that. That's hilarious. I like it. Yeah, I don't know if I like DBX back to 45 personally, though. I mean, maybe. What did we look at this one fundamentally there? I think that's the funniest thing you've ever said. That's hilarious. That's so good. I think it's the funniest thing I've heard in like, I don't know, a week or two. I don't know. I watched Family Guy last night from last Saturday. That was pretty, I'm going to use the word heinous. I was laughing out loud at 4:30 in the morning watching that. And that was funny. That was funny. I won't repeat it on the air because we're a family show, but that was pretty good. All right, DBX, 67 composite rating. Let's take a peek at it. Oh, it's Dropbox. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, the IPO. That's right. If you don't know what Dropbox does, we'll have Eli give you a crash course on the internet real soon. Industry group rank 4. Look at that one. That's a pretty strong industry group rank. The cloud. 83% EPS change. 301% EPS change last 3 quarters. 188% current quarter. Good stuff there. So for 0 quarters of EPS acceleration, it gets a 71. That seems a little disingenuous. Fail. I'm seeing good stuff today. Pass, fail. That's funny. EPS estimate change for current year, lots. So that's good. Sales change is good. 3-year sales growth rate is good. Pre-tax margin is horrible. Wow, that's really bad. ROE is pretty low. Of course, it's a brand new IPO and has been acting badly, so I think that's to be expected. 10 billion market cap, 2.7 million shares traded, 8% change in funds owning stock, 1 quarter of increasing fund ownership. It's only been around for 1 quarter, so I guess that makes sense. We still don't have anyone buying it, so it's okay. It's not great. That pre-tax margin is a little annoying. Yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to improve margins. I think that's their only concern is how do they improve margins. Unfortunately, they're competing with Google, who gives 30 gigs away for free. Just open a new Gmail account, get 30 new gigs. So a little bit of distribution right there at the 27.35 level. Maybe getting over that could be advantageous. Let's look at the options, though. I didn't look at those. I wanted to look at the fundamentals first. Let's just call it 40 for good measure. You can see it's kind of a spike area. Maybe even 35 would be good. You can see getting up to 35. We pretty much spiked above that and came right back down. And that level was tested a few times. So, actually, yeah, not too bad going to July. Google not as good as... Well, I guess it depends on the client base, Eli. I mean, you're right. My wife's company uses Dropbox over Google. Of course, they still use Outlook, so I can't say too much good about their tech. But anyway, so Dropbox 35. Going out to June, you're still looking at, 250. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's not too bad. The only part about this that's a little disturbing is it doesn't have the history of running that some of these other stocks do. We're usually in stocks that are already near highs or have made runs. This hasn't even made a single run yet. It's kind of like Twitter, in the way Twitter really has done nothing. You look at this since the IPO, had a pop, and it's been perpetual lower highs ever since. It's trying to change that now, but it's taking its sweet time. It's taking a sweet time doing that. So you just don't know. You don't have that history of, okay, the market wants this thing. You just don't have that. That's a little disturbing. If I did this, it would have to be a lower. I would take less risk on that trade. You don't see a lot of accumulation down here either. It is a slow uptrend breaking a trend line, but you don't see a lot of volume rushing in, things of that nature. So I don't know. I think there's better ones out there. I get what you're saying though. The options look good because it hasn't ever run. Under Armour. Not bad. It's down over 50% here. I wonder what multi-year lows. 1, 2, 3, going on. 3+ years of downtrend. Don't really see much here. Excitable 24.96. This is going to be your buy point. I'll probably give you like a cup with handle or something, but I don't know if I would. Yeah, I'm not super into this one either. Sitting at lows. Not really my style. INS up today after being beaten down yesterday. Forming a nice flag. This is more my style. Bull flag sitting higher, not sitting lower. I like this. Nothing to do here yet, but potentially for a line such as that to be broken for the next leg. If we get a next leg, it did top at that 26. We'll have to wait and see. Although quite a bit of distribution up here, especially on the weekly. But look at those candles. You got a lot of candles with big wicks to the downside. Even if this week closes higher, you'll have another big wick to the downside on the weekly charts. So INS not looking too bad. We had that peak at 26 after a huge run, that huge breakout run. Boom, it ran. Basing, 1, 2, 3. You need 5 weeks for a flat base. Siri thinks I'm talking to her again. Not talking to you, Siri. Roku up 3.5%. A little more volume here on Roku on the pullback. Also with a history, a little bit of history there. So undercutting that low is a little weird, but we talked about it breaking right there, broke up, pulls back again. Looks like it's trying to break this little consolidation. Already broke a little mini trend line there. Look at these wicks to the downside yesterday. Big wick to the downside, closing in the upper half of the range. And then 2 days before that, also closing in the upper half of the range. And now breaking the highs of those days. So could be getting going there a little bit. Earnings coming up in a couple of weeks. So maybe could make a trade out of it. But Roku, I think your best trade was obviously earlier on right there out of that consolidation. He'd already be up some, and we talked about that when it broke out too. 16%, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. BMW up 2% today. We've been talking about BMW for quite a while now here. We broke out. Volume tepid, but it's been working. It's been moving. And you're seeing some nice green volume pops. Things are looking better every day for VMware. It's going to be a monster one. You can just tell. It's just going to be up. Up and up and up. You out of here, Ethan? Let me hug. Kiss. Have a good day. Please close my door. Bye, babe.
I forgot to tell you, real quick, I ran into Dave on Saturday when he was here, and he was so excited. He was so happy. And he's like, look, I bought How to Make Money in Stocks, and he was 2/3 of the way through it, and he was just like, I'd never seen him so live.
Yeah, right? He's...
Never.
That's awesome. Wife was just telling me about my pool guy. I don't know if I told you guys about my pool guy, but ran into my pool guy, and he made a joke about Bitcoin, and told him what I did, and he got super excited, told him about How to Make Money in Stocks, which is the IBD book, and wife just said she ran into him, and he was like holding the book. He takes it with him everywhere. He's reading it through and through. Yes, James? Family's running in right now. with your throat. Yeah, let me see your nodules. Yeah. So all that stuff that you've been spitting up yesterday, it's going down your throat and making you a little bit of a sore throat. It's not. So you're okay. You're not sick or anything. All right, guys. Sorry about that. CDNS, another buy. Let's take a look at CDNS. Yeah, this one up pretty high already, up about 9% past the breakout point, which is down here. I'm not, usually not buyable up this high. So I mean, I'm sure the options aren't going to work out very well for that. Check Slack. A Head and Shoulders on CRISPR? Are you talking about an inverted Head and Shoulders, or? Oh, you mean my head? Oh, that one. Okay, now yeah, I actually have that same thing drawn. I don't know when I drew this. It wasn't back here though. I don't think I drew that in real time. But yeah, still with how do we have the exact same chart? I don't have this range over here, but that's funny. That's hilarious. We've literally drawn the same trend lines. That's pretty good. Yeah, maybe CRISPR out of this if it can get going. The problem with CRISPR is it's still negative earnings. I'm not quite sure. Let's look up CRISPR on the stock checkup. Not quite sure if they're like making anything. Composite rating of 6. And their rank is 447th for gene-based medicine. That's pretty funny too. Yeah, negative 73 EPS, negative 7,900% current quarter EPS change. Yeah, I don't know. CRISPR stocks flattened after one downgrade amid steep rivalry. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'd be putting too much into this one as of yet. Yeah, there's like, let me just pull it up here for you. There's just tons of red, lots of big negative numbers. I've never even seen that big of a negative number before on here. Not for that one. Negative 162 pre-tax margin. Yeah, this is stocks, Ted. It's a little bit different. You can just trade the charts. That's the thing too. And occasionally I do, but in stocks we have fundamental indicators, and they are pretty important. And 10 relative strength rating. This compares it to the rest of the stocks in the S&P 500, and it's performing better than 10% of them. And composite rating of 6, very similar ranking. So Not very good in either direction. If you want to play for turnaround play, maybe. Yeah, but they're still very negative in terms of earnings. Oh, sarcasm? Gotcha. Well, for those that aren't initiated, that's in crypto, yeah, trade the chart. But not so much in stocks when you're trying to swing trade. You want to hold on to the best. You want to hold on to the ones that the institutions will hold on to. And that's what the fundamentals are for. They're square up 1.43. Is that over yesterday? Not quite. No. Not quite over yesterday. Paycom, Garmin, Ameren, Team. How's Team doing here? Same like VMW. Just marching on, getting on with the program. Starbucks. Again, another little day of positiveness for Starbucks. So hopefully it'll eclipse yesterday's highs, and we'll get a similar one of those little rallies. This just starting to break out of a cup and handle, or just a cup pattern as a matter of fact. Or is this a flat base? This is a flat base. This is a flat base. The problem is there's no volume yet on the breakout. That's a little disturbing, but it's still kind of working. Nettie's, Lilly, still within the channel. Upper range of the channel though, which is I guess all I can ask for at this stage of the game. IMED, INSG, still kind of consolidating after that drop through the trend line. Bouncing off the 50-day moving average, that's good. We'll see if that'll maintain. Not too much red on my list at all today. Kind of a weird update, but still an update. I'll take it. And let's see what IBD's got to say about a few things. See what they have. Some articles out. Do they have a stock of the day yet? Probably not. That comes out later. Aurora Cannabis earnings, the first real look at potential. We have Aurora on our list. I forget ACB. Let's look at ACB. So there's Aurora Cannabis. Reported second quarter sales that came at the high end of an earlier forecast, even as the company's losses ballooned. Cannabis stock and other MJ stocks mostly lower at Monday after the close. So not much though. They like the sales. I think they're willing to put up with some loss in earnings for very accelerated sales growth at this stage, and that looks like the case because they're not tanking. CGC has Thursday earnings. Here's CGC at 43. Oh, NASDAQ broke into highs. They got earnings on Thursday, which would give investors the first real look at the sales potential for the nation's biggest licensed growers. So, doing pretty good. Costs hit margins. The company's loss attributable to common shareholders widened to 237 million Canadian dollars. Aurora said the gross margins on cannabis sales temporarily fell during the quarter to 54% from 70% in its first fiscal quarter. They attributed the margin drop to a lower average selling price, excise tax on sales, and a lower mix of cannabis oil sales. Products with oil tend to be higher margin. So packaging regulation and costs related to bringing its massive Aurora Sky facility to full production also cut into margins. Company said that the facility is fully complete, will reach full production capacity shortly. So that'll bring those margins back up again on ACB. So yeah, some basically strong growth prospects for the whole industry. What? Look at that headline. This is in the middle of the IBD article right there. Next episode of the Marijuana Industry-ish show. Oh, that's pretty funny. Okay, made its first commercial exports of the oil in the UK. Company said the product has been successfully dispensed from a pharmacy. All right, so ACB with some good growth prospects. They have, I mean, they've got a ton of volume up here, just lots and lots of volume, and not really rallying. I mean, it looks there's some selling involved in that one, a little bit of selling there, and with earnings, I'm not sure why it's not. Yeah, I guess by ACB cheap, that's possible. I'm not quite sure why it's not doing more. It's got to learn on Dash again. What are we doing with is Dash running again? Yeah, Dash hasn't stopped. Look at that. Good move. Zcash as well. Out of that bull flag, guys. Look at that. EOS up 2.8%. Rallying pretty nicely. Bitcoin, though, slogging along. Broke that trend line yesterday. ETH pretty flat. Interesting. Just had a couple alerts. Thought I would take a peek. Hold on a second. Okay. Yeah, maybe buy ACB cheap. I don't know. It's you have to get a pretty far. I have to buy the stock or buy a really far out option at that point. ANET, you say, breaking out. Yeah, so ANET's got a pretty deep. May not be that deep after all. Only about 33%, a little more. 40%. So 40% deep overall on this drop. Coming up to the 200-day moving average. Crossed the 50-day already. Has earnings coming up in a little bit. 214. So in a couple of days. Gosh, Valentine's Day is coming up too. Damn it. I hate Valentine's Day. Yeah, I guess it's trying to do something. Has kind of a inverted head and shoulders feel to it here. Looks like it broke out of that yesterday. Working its way higher today. And if you were to extrapolate this one, get you to 280. That'd get you up there. Let's see ANET 280, what that looks like. Yeah, 280 is not too bad if you go. It only gets you to March, so it's only 45 days. Yeah, that sucks. You got 45 days and 129 days. There's no in between. 129 seems a little low. But 280 out of the cup with handles pretty. Doesn't seem too bad. Yeah, up 20% basically. 19%. Not bad. I don't mind the ACB trade so much. We've seen a myriad of these stocks kind of have their turns rallying. Maybe ACB will be one of them if they... I mean, the volume, they certainly have some interest in terms of volume. We see Cron also with increasing volume, but that one really just being accumulated. You can see the run-up. The run-up on that. Coming down into... what's a little triangle of sorts. We'll see if it'll hold that trend line. The volume signature declining as we're basing, so selling drying up. Although still above average volume even yesterday. So we'll see how that goes. Square up 2%, poking its head up here. Go Square. Go Square. Go Square. Go Square. VMW also up 2%. VMW acting really nice. Didn't have any volume on the breakout. I didn't jump on it. Didn't have any cash anyways. Chegg up 9. Carvana up 6. I don't think that's Carvana. I always say that wrong. OGRMF today. Oh, this is an over-the-counter stock. You probably won't be able to buy this on in a mini retirement accounts, depending on your status in your retirement account. SNCR, WLL, Grub, 808. I got to get going here in a minute, guys. Anything last minute you want me to look at? Weibo breaking that trend line right there. Volume, maybe pretty elevated. So we got 656,000 half hour into the trading day. Yesterday was 1.9 million. So there's a good possibility we can still maintain this little higher volume clip that we've had since these low volumes here, late February or late January, early February. And it looks like also eclipsing those highs at the same time. So a couple of trend line breaks right there. Could be getting WB going. This is Weibo. It is a Chinese company. And I don't know. We'll see. Nothing major, no major volume coming in, but it is starting to break price levels. And we've seen these things kind of float up. NetEase something similar, but it's already broken out from a low level consolidation here. Now it's in a bit of a higher level consolidation. Been trying the crap out of this, trying to see if we can figure out what it's going to do. It looks like it's holding that trend line from the lows. And we have that as resistance right there. So we talked yesterday about buying as close as you can. Where did I put it? I have a hard time saying that. Enter as close as possible to where you are wrong. And maybe on NetEase, this stop right there could be where you're wrong. So maybe this isn't a horrible place to take a low-risk position. NBEV, jump in. Getting happy. Cannabis stuff moving. NASDAQ at highs. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. And stay safe.